morning, Lagos. Good morning, wonderful UpYou community. Welcome to another episode of UpyouwithEzinne on radio today. How you all doing? Congratulations are in order for all of us. We made it to the last day of November 2022. Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoa, I'm so excited. Well, today we're wrapping up our conversation on woman sit up by going further to say, don't just sit up, also aim to stand out while you're at it. So our topic today is woman sit up and stand out. It's our hour on radio and I'm here to keep you company wherever you may be. So let's do this, my beautiful people. Finding self, finding purpose. My name is Ezinne Kanem and I'm your host. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms. UpyouwithEzinne on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We'd love to connect with you and keep the conversation going long after this program has ended. So who is ready for this session? Woman, sit up and stand out. Woman, what you do makes a difference. And only you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make in this life of yours that you're living. There are women who make things better. There are women who change things. There are women who make things happen. And there are women who make a difference. Our guest today belongs to the group of women who make a difference. You want to know why? Then keep it locked on UpyouwithEzinne and let's find out together. Our discussion topic is woman, sit up and stand out. Our guest today is Nkechi, a former athlete, sports administrator and sports management consultant with over 30 years experience and accomplishment in sports management, marketing and administration. Her experience spans a variety of projects, especially with startup operations in marketing and communication, exhibition, design, promotion, event design and management, media content development and broadcast, politics, entertainment and sports, political media campaign management, as well as product merchandising and marketing. In 2018, she was appointed the first thematic lead of the sports industry thematic group of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, NESG, where she has put together a team of professionals in various economic sectors to assist the federal government in developing a new national sports industry policy. In furtherance of this objective, Nkechi teamed up with a group of like-minded corporate players to establish the recently launched Sports Nigeria Limited GTE, a private sector intervention agency for aggregating, facilitating, and enabling investment into the different sectors of the sports industry value chain, where she serves as the Pioneer Chief Executive Officer. Dear listeners, please join me in welcoming a very special guest this morning. Nkechi, how are you doing?
It's a great pleasure to be here, Ezinne, to be a guest on this program that seeks to elevate women, that seeks to show women that, it's possible if you put your mind to it. So thank you for having me to share my story.
Thank you so much. As always, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
With the amazing smile.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me just cut it and go straight to the point.
Sure.
Yeah, so when I called you up, I said to you, I'd like you to come to the show and I'd like you to talk on woman, sit up and stand out. Mm-hmm. What occurred to you? Because I didn't tell you anything after that.
Yeah, I mean, the name of the program, kind of lets you know what you're coming to talk about. Mm-hmm. Women have a lot to do. Mm-hmm. Particularly in standing out. It's said that every woman has to do 10 times as more just to get half of what a man gets. Mm-hmm. So when you say sit up and stand out, you are more or less saying to each woman that, look, sit up and take your place. Yes, you've got to work a lot harder, but the fact of the matter is if you put your mind to it, you can achieve.
Thank you. I like that. If you put your mind to it, you can achieve. You can actually sit up like we're sitting up now and then stand out in the process.
Exactly.
Well, congratulations on your recent appointment as the CEO.
When you hear that recent appointment, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Because this is uncharted waters for us, for anywhere in the world. What we're trying to do here has not been done anywhere in the world. The concept of Sport Nigeria, there is Sport England, Sport Wales, Sport Australia, but it's always with an element of government involved.
Okay.
This is the first time ever anywhere in the world that is 100% private sector.
Oh, wow.
So when I'm not sure whether you should congratulate me or to pity me and my band of merry soldiers who have decided that this is the journey to take, because we don't have a precedent, we don't have a blueprint, we don't have anything that's been done anywhere else this way for us to follow. What we have is our gut instincts that this is actually how it would play out. This is actually how to bring in the private sector into an industry that hitherto they had done little more than just throw CSR money at, but which the whole world recognizes is actually a platform for social and economic development. And the whole world has treated sports differently from the way we are doing.
Interesting. I like the fact that you said that all you have is your gut. Sometimes that's all you need.
Exactly.
And then before you know it, you find light.
Yes.
I wish and pray that you and your team will find light.
Amen to that prayer. Yeah. Amen.
It was in the news, recently that the federal government has actually recategorized sports as a business sector in Nigeria. What does this mean, and how can a woman sit up and take advantage of this?
Okay, here's the thing. For years, sports was seen more from the participation perspective. We go to the Olympics, we go to the World Cup, we send a team, but it was never really seen from a business perspective. There was really nothing to show the private sector that they should put the kind of monies they ought to drive this sector. We couldn't show numbers. We couldn't show data that this can actually create jobs, generate revenue, and also be able to impact socially. Don't forget that sports is actually a social contract. It delivers social benefits. And so how do you find a way to deliver social benefits through business methods? Unfortunately, we had not done that, but the rest of the world had found a way to do it. And so we began to look at, sometime about 10, 11 years ago, so a group of us started looking at sports from a different perspective. Okay. Now, what if we flipped the pyramid? What if we appealed to a greater number of people? What if it wasn't about going to all these multinational events? What if it was about the people in the country, the huge masses, being able to play sport? What if we could provide a means for them to play sport and each one of them spend a certain amount of money? In short, what if we could retailize sports?
Whoa, this is revolutionary.
And if we could do that, then it became that the market would no longer really be the athletes. The athletes would actually be suppliers. The market would be you and I. And so that thought, passed through a lot of thinking, stakeholder engagement. The Nigerian Economic Summit Group entered the affray, so to speak, in 2016, 2017, and it became about providing the evidence. By 2020, the federal government, through this current minister, Honorable Chief Sunday Dare, decided that maybe we've been looking at this thing wrong. And so a position was presented to the government to recategorize sports as a business sector of the economy. What that means is that we enjoy the benefits of business sector. So tax, incentives, Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment gets involved, different ministries get involved. And now opportunities are there for different people in the sector. Now, what that means is that the micro, small, medium enterprises get into, become suppliers. And you and I know that women play very well in the MSME sector.
Just hold it up there. Let me open the lines because this is getting really interesting. The number to call is 0913 6000 410. The number to text and the number to WhatsApp is 0913 6000 410. I now understand why the Federal Minister of Youth and Sports Development said that sports will drive the largest real estate and infrastructure development in the country in the future.
Exactly.
Because
he's correct.
You actually have flipped the pyramid. So it's broadened out. Yes. Okay, so go ahead.
When the minister said that, a lot of people wondered how. But sports is not played in imagination. Sports is played somewhere. You must go somewhere to exercise, even if you're just exercise. Let's even assume as we flip the pyramid, the bottom of pyramid, which is people like me, people like you. Yeah. Exactly. And hundreds of millions out there. We are 200 million plus in this country. Counting. And counting. And of 90%, 95% of us are actually in that category. It is the 5 to 10% that is at the bottom, the elite athletes and what have you. And they have been the ones that we had our pyramid the right way up and they had been up there. And we had been trying to go against gravity by making the people at the bottom there generate the money and try to force it against gravity. So, but if you flip the pyramid and let them be under there, then by gravitational force, the money will just flow. So, we generate the funding. If they take care of us, now we're at the top. The majority of us, if we're taking care of revenues we generate, we flow.
Also trickle down.
And it will get to them. So that's what Sunday meant. We need facilities. Therefore, to take that money out of your pocket, I need to give you somewhere to go to live your passion for sport, to experience what it is to play sport. And that is facilities. We do not have enough facilities. For you to appreciate where we are, our stadium to population ratio in this country is 1 to 5 million. So there is one stadium for 5 million people.
Oh my God.
Meanwhile, South Africa is 1 to 700,000. What you are expected to have is 1 to 300,000. So see where we are.
So there's opportunity.
In infrastructure.
Yes, and then we could even also start doing the community thingies, the community stadiums
that
and
is
stuff
where,
like that.
That is where, a Sport Nigeria is going. What Sport Nigeria's aim is to encourage mass participation by providing facilities at community level. This country requires more than 7,000 community facilities. We have less than 1,000.
I hope a smart woman is listening to this conversation because that means there's opportunity to get into
real estate.
Straight up.
The whole sports is a real, I keep telling people, take your emotions out of the equation. The whole of sports is real estate and data. When you see people building facilities abroad, you need to ask yourself, every community has a facility. Yes, what are they doing? They are providing a place for mass participation because they know you will, by participating, they are promoting a market for goods and services. Someone has to service that market with goods. Someone has to service that market with services.
So why not the woman?
Exactly.
And another thing is, as we're becoming more conscious of our health and stuff, we also need this mini stuff where we can actually go have our exercises and also even organize our local leagues ourselves. Everybody needs to get active.
Here's a thought following your thoughts. Part of what the new sports industry policy, which is revolutionary. Sport has never been thought of in that way. The last policy was 2009 and efforts had been made to draft new ones right up to 2018. They kind of didn't work. So when Sunday Dare came, his first thought was that we needed something that would ensure the private sector concentrated. And one of the things in the policy, as far as sports and health is concerned, is that there must be a way that this new policy drives incentives and initiatives to bring down the incidence of death by non-communicable diseases, which is 25%. So 1 in 4 people dies from something that they ought not to die from.
Thank you. Now, has this policy been adopted?
It has certainly. On the 2nd of November, it was a fantastic day for all of us. there were there were cries of joy, laughter across the sports world because on that day, the Federal Executive Council passed the new sports industry policy.
I told you guys that this woman is making a difference. So we now have a policy. Interesting. I read your document. I read that policy document and I saw the 30% gender inclusion for females. And that's precisely why I wanted you on this show. So you can tell us that you have actually in the policy provided 30% inclusion for female. And so female who are lovers of sports, who want to play in the sports arena, should please, wake up, go find that document, read it, and get ready for 2023.
United Nations says we should achieve 50%. But
let's even start from somewhere.
No, we're very realistic. Where we are right now. We are barely 10% on boards and management and what have you. But it is the women who have been doing us proud of recent. And so they must be encouraged. There must be a proper pathway from raw talent to podium success. We must honestly, truthfully develop a way for us to discover raw talent, nurture them, develop them. It takes 12 years from when you find the talent for to when they stand up and represent you. So those 12 years are critical. We must put in place and encourage more women to play sport, more girls to play sport. We found that, United Nations has asked us under the SDGs to find a way to keep more girls in schools. One of the best ways to do that is sport.
I was going to ask you that because in other climes, people are encouraged to go to school as well as, run their sports. Yeah. So are we going to have something like that, a merger between the educational sector and the sports sector?
Definitely. It's, the critical thing to understand about this is that education contributes 48% to participation in sport. So it is a no-brainer for you to sit with the education sector and ask them how best can we get every child playing sport. Now, isn't it, when I say it's a no-brainer, from a social perspective, sound mind in a sound, healthy body.
In a sound body, yeah.
Yes. But even from a market development perspective, that singular act of saying everyone should play sport, even if it's once, twice, you've thrown into the mix a market of 40 million children who must wear shirts, short boots, and balls. Nobody is making ball in Nigeria. So that immediately throws, you must be thinking about 40 to 60 million balls a year. So somebody is going to be encouraged to set up a factory.
Makes balls.
I saw one documentary, and I have to give you this example. I saw one documentary of where they were making badminton shuttlecocks. It wasn't a documentary, it was a video of a family. There were about 7 of them making these shuttlecocks from chicken feathers.
Oh, wow.
Badminton is the 3rd most played sport in the world.
I used to play that when I was in school.
Yes, but the fact of the matter is, so if you encourage badminton here, and
we can all take all our chicken fed.
Somebody can.
We're wasting it.
Exactly.
We need to go to Passenger Farms.
So can you imagine a woman just deciding that she sees that badminton has suddenly become popular, and the next thing she's setting up a place with her children and everything, and gathering chicken feathers from maybe
and that's next to
state and all,
and that's next to nothing.
Bleaching them and then turning them into shuttlecocks. At least for the number, if we insist they must be played in schools. So 100,000 schools.
You can supply schools. That's a market. Women, are we thinking? Remember, the number to call is 0913 6000 410. The number to text on WhatsApp is 0913 6000 410. This is very interesting. And my eyes are popping.
No, that's why I told you it's an MSME play. And women play very well in the MSME sector. So we need to begin to find how to distill this, and I can assure you a lot of work is ongoing to distill this information in sound bites that will ensure that women understand where they can plug themselves in, particularly as MSME organizations.
Okay. Women seem to be more successful in competitive sports. I'm bragging now.
Yeah, so
I'm bragging.
I can see your shoulders.
You can see the way I just, exactly. The only individual Olympic gold medal for the company was won by a woman.
Exactly. And I'm so happy about that every day.
And then the only athletics world record is held by a woman.
Every day too.
The female football team
regularly show up where it matters.
So why are you guys not encouraging us?
Nobody is. You see, like I said, a lot of what we did in the past was to use local balance. That is gambling, taking chances.
Okay.
This one, there was no structured pathway. So that's why when the history of the revolution that's coming in sports is written in years to come, the starting point will be that there was a policy that was approved, that made sports be seen from a different angle, that made sports be seen from the angle of taking it to the person in their communities, because it's at community level you find the athletes. You do not find the athletes at federal level.
True.
By the time it gets to federal level, the athlete has been discovered. It is just for the federal to go to carry the athlete to the Olympic, or carry the athlete to the World Cup, or carry the athlete to the World Athletics Championship or World Championships of any sport. The real work is in the communities, where you would have people looking at children at the age of 5 and saying, I see a talent here.
Scouts.
And then putting the 12 years, putting a pathway from discovery to the next stage, to the next stage, until federal coaches at the federation level then find the person maybe at the age of 15, by which time they will have been developed.
Or even younger.
We find them at 5. We don't be fooled. Toby didn't show up at the age of 17. Toby showed up at the age of 9.
Good.
But she had a coach that was consistent and, kept pushing her, taking part in this. She was in secondary school when she was discovered. That's what we do not have. For every Toby that has reached the top, there are hundreds of thousands, but there is no pathway. So it is that pathway we are saying, particularly in Sport Nigeria, provide the facilities at community level. When you provide the facilities at community level, you enable more coaches to see them easier. And then you build a market. And that's what we're asking corporates to support at that level. Now, let me use one example. The English Premier League, for 10 years, Barclays was a sponsor.
Yes.
What Barclays used to do was to organize what they called football in your community. And for children, ages between 7 and 12 or 13. And so every Friday and Saturday, children gathered in one spot. There were 40,000 of those spots in England. You think Barclays was helping them to look for athletes? No, that wasn't Barclays' concern. Barclays helped them to perform a function to enable Barclays itself benefit from tomorrow's customer, finding tomorrow's customer. So when you get a child at the age of 8, 9, 10, and you open an account, you have a customer for the next 50 years.
It's good to be far-sighted and foresighted as well.
And
Thinking in all perimeters.
The biggest challenge for us is people think this thing must happen in 1 year or 2 years.
Yes.
No, you must have long-term vision.
That is what I liked about the policy.
Yes.
It stretched the time.
Yes.
It had mileages.
First phase is 5 years.
Exactly.
2020.
So we know what to use and hold you accountable as you grow.
At the end of 5 years, they're going to take a look at it and say, okay, do we tweak it? Each year, it will, there'll be
some kind of review.
Yes. But at the end of 5 years, we look at the numbers. What did it deliver? And then find out whether it requires tweaking for another 5 years. But the thinking behind it was to take advantage of the decade of sustainability of the United Nations and see how sports could add to that sustainability goals.
I'm really loving this, and I'm enjoining all women right now to please find time and read this policy document. It will open your eyes and it will get you thinking in directions that will help you to stand out. Now, let me bring it down. Let me leave your policy and bring it down to the fact that it's World Cup season. I like the fever. And then for me this year is the interesting fact that we have female what?
referees.
Oh my God.
And not referees, well, assistant referees.
Yes, we start from somewhere, like you said,
There
right?
are 3 females actually.
I'm loving it. And then I love that bit about using the pidgin English as well. I know it's localized,
yes.
but at least he makes sure that everybody is carried
away. And the commentators, the pidgin English commentators, are a trip. You fall apart laughing. You're not so sure whether it's the football you're watching
or their commentary, because sometimes they use some words and I'm like, does this even exist? Yeah. How did this person form the stuff?
They're very creative. The lady amongst them, particularly, she's very, very creative.
Oh, interesting. So you see, another new things come up every day.
Yeah.
So that's why we keep saying
the women in as assistant referees was inclusivity, really. I'm still in 2 minds about that. And I've seen comments from the men that say, okay, are we going to have male referees in the Women's World Cup next year? Now, that is a point to consider. If we're going to be really fair, I don't understand why they're doing this, in the sense that, women have had to fight so hard just to get 10% of what the men get. But if we're preaching inclusivity, then we also need the men to see the perspective, for their perspective to be from how we are.
For it to be balanced, right?
Not even so much of a balance. I think we'll get more help from them if they could see things from
the way we see
it. So a couple of men at the Women World Cup might just help, because the men will see that women play with a different temperament. And so it might help them in their relationship, in bringing women into sport. The journey is still very far. There are not enough women in sport. It's an uphill battle, isn't it? I'm not going to lie to you that for every one woman I find, there are 100, 200 men. It's so tough to find the women, and it's simply because the field is not level. The playing field is not level, I must confess. But there's a lot being done, and I must give this current ministry, they didn't look at the fact that maybe it was a woman who was heading the sports industry, who was coming up with this. The minister listened. It was tough, changing mindsets, but there was you could see the intention that something must give. And so the willingness to actually accommodate different viewpoints, I appreciated that.
Okay, very quickly, Nkechi, your ideas are quite unconventional, very unconventional. But I know that it's going to take you really very far. So the minister had no choice but to listen to you. So quickly, for my listeners, could you tell us 5 things that any woman who wants to play and leave her mark in the sports business should start doing or continue doing?
You need to have, first things first, you need to have knowledge. You need to, and your knowledge must be evidence-based. You can't just throw out things there. Because you're a woman saying it, you are going to be subjected to the kind of microscopic checks and if it was a man that said it, it might be shrugged off, but you have to prove yourself over and over. So knowledge is critical, and the right knowledge and evidence-based, that's number one. Then you need to persevere.
Stick to it, eh?
You must stick to it like glue. This has taken 12 years. I tell people, if I had any idea that it was going to take this long and go through this, I wouldn't have started.
Thank God you had no idea.
Yes, and that's why I say God doesn't show you. Because if he showed you, you
run away.
Many of us wouldn't do what we do. So perseverance is critical. Then you need to be able to gather people that is listening to every single stakeholder. Even if the person is in your face and telling you and abusing you, you need just grin and bear it. You can go back and throw things inside your house and I did that a few times, throw things at the wall to express your frustration. But while you're standing in front of them, you need to accommodate every viewpoint. It's tough, but you need to do that. That's the third thing. The fourth thing is surround yourself with people who know as much or even more than you do. That's a tough call for a lot of Nigerians.
Yeah.
Nigerians do not like surrounding themselves with people who know more than. But when you are doing change management, you need to surround yourself with people that know more than you do and have better access. So you might have the knowledge, but you need access. So you find people who can open doors for you. Finally, you just need to trust God.
Oh, wow. It's amazing. In fact, it's incredible. Almost everybody who came on this show this month gave us similar counts. You must keep learning. You must keep to it. You must find people who know more than you do. You must trust your process, and you must trust God. You know,
the trusting God part, I think that has to be. I don't even want. I find it funny. I'm laughing
because sometimes you wake up and you don't even know where it's going to, but you just keep going, right?
Let me make you guys laugh. So I had my Okanri exit strategy. That's what I always called it. When I started this journey 10 years ago, my Okanri exit strategy was that worst case scenario, I'll go get a shop
in Okanri. No.
Wait, I'm selling orange juice. You will come and buy. So every year I will start the year and I say, I'm giving you one more year. God is one more year. And then I'm going to Okanri. So in December, I said, okay. One more year. And Okanri, here I come.
Okay.
I've not gone to Okanri.
You know, I was going to say to you that you should give us general advice, but I think you just gave it to us.
Okanri strategy.
Always have your Okanri strategy and then keep giving it one more year. Keep giving it one more year. Thank you so much, Nkechi, for joining us on this program today. I have actually learned a lot, and then that policy now looks less formidable than when I was studying it, and my head has opened, and I'm looking at opportunities, and I hope that my fellow sisters out there are also seeing what I'm seeing. Dear women, this is where we bring this all together for the month on Sit Up. My take on today is that even when it looks dark, just keep walking. You know, today is the end of November. Tomorrow is 1st of December. You might be sitting down thinking, so what have I done with my year? Don't worry. Just put one leg in front of the other tomorrow morning when you wake up and keep walking. Remember, Nkechi just taught us now about the Okanri strategy. So give it one more day. Give it one more day. Don't even go. See, I break things down very, very simply. I'm not even going to talk about 1 year. No, give it one more day. When you get past that day, you give it another day.
Another day.
And another day.
Another day.
Until one day the sun comes.
You just wake up and find that you've given it 12 years of your time and you didn't.
And you're finally CEO.
Exactly. Isn't it? Exactly.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. This is where we wrap up today's edition of Up You with Ezinne. It's been another amazing one. Please follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Up You with Ezinne. Get copies of our books, Up You and When Adversity Strikes, Fight. Thank you. Big up to everyone that is involved in creating this magic every week, starting with you, our dear listeners, our guests, our advertisers, our callers, the engineers on duty, my producers, the amazing Up You team, 98.3 Mainland FM, the sound of Lagos. You all stay strong, stay blessed, stay lifted. My name is Ezinne Kufure Kanem. Until next time, it's Up You.